Hello everyone, it's Kurinyanko here. Welcome back. Did you like my silly recap of Season 1? I hope that gave you a smile. With my silly list is out of the way, let's get into the video now. As Season 2 is coming in January, and with all the SNK regional bout is finished, I think now is a good time to look back on Season 1 about what's good and what's not good about it. And then I can talk about how it can be changed and what I'm hoping for Season 2 that can bring more fun to us. But before we get into it, let me just say this first. Since this is a video in my channel, so of course it is just my opinion, but still, I'll try to keep this video as objective as possible. Alright, now that's out of the way, let's get it started. But before I go into the gameplay, I want to talk about a few new features that KOF 15 brings. So first, let's talk about the DJ station. So I don't think there's anyone dislike the DJ station, which is a jukebox that can change the BGM to any BGM that you like. It gives you free custom playlists, and after the update, it lets you to do the random select as well, so that you don't always stuck in one tune, which is really nice. And there was another update just to let you able to use your own custom list. You don't have to worry about what your opponent is going to use. And I personally actually think that that's a godsend, so that I don't have to worry about people using OG 2K2 soundtrack. Although, it would be kind of nice that in the lobby, if there is an option, that you can force your opponent to listen to your soundtrack when you're staying on one player's side, just like when it was launched, so that there is a stake of losing a set, so that you have to listen to other players' soundtrack. That can give winning or losing a bit more meaning. Oh yes, I almost forgot to mention, SNK, please give me a way to basically pay to unlock all the music, please. As a person who owns PS4, PS5, Steam, Xbox version, I really can't be bothered to play through story mode that many times to unlock all the music on all different versions. It's just extremely time consuming for no reason. I mean, it is great for people who have the time to unlock it for free, but I don't mind to pay, so take my money please. Another thing that I think it should get praised a bit more is the high contrast setting hide inside the display setting. As a person who always plays games in the night time, able to reduce the background brightness is actually really nice. And also for people who make videos like me, I can easily use it to make something like this. Well, you get the idea, which I hope any upcoming fighting game can have something like this. I think a lot of people actually haven't tried draft versus, because it's actually rather hidden. It's not by default. It's only limited to online room match, not even on rank. So if you want to play draft versus offline, it's just not possible. Which is quite a shame, because I think the ideas is actually really interesting, as both players can't pick the same character. That I would really like to see an offline tournament to run in this format. And thanks to Fiona, now let me try it with him, so that I get to find out how it actually works. So here's the footage. So let's have a quick look on it. And as you went into character select, player 1 is going to get the first pick, with able to select one character only. So player 1 can have the choice of pick their best character or taking opponent's best character away. And then player 2 is going to able to pick two characters, which in a way that it negate the first pick advantage. They can choose a character to counter pick their first pick character, or just choose two characters that they're familiar with. And after that, player 1 is going to able to pick one character again, then to player 2 to able to pick their last character, which completes the team a bit earlier than player 1, and at last, player 1 can complete their team with the last pick. Although if people are actually going to play this in an offline tournament, it would be better to let the player who lose a game to choose the player side, just so there is more strategy going on. And as for the meta on the end of Season 1, running the tournament in this format will definitely be more entertaining to watch, without have to banning any character, or without have to use a shell high ratio tier list, that the audience doesn't have to see the same matchup over and over again. As a person who laps a lot and has a bunch of stuff, I was pretty satisfied with KOF 14's training mode anyway, and in KOF 15, it added a few more options, which makes the quality of life of using it is a lot better. Like you can switch between player 1 and player 2 position anytime you want. and allow you to switch character through the menu without you always have to going back to member select is actually really nice too. So as the background music as well, even though it has nothing to do with the gameplay, but to me personally, that's the best option. As in KOF 14, back when it was launched, I was playing training mode so much that the background music just stuck in my head. So for 2 weeks, I find it really hard to sleep well. Then I have to turn all the background music off and playing KOF 14 without any background music for 5 years. Even I actually quite like KOF 14 music, but I just can't listen to it like that long. So able to change like background music anytime, for me, this is actually a lifesaver. Although as good as the training mode it is now, there's a few things I wanted to add to make the training mode even better. Firstly, I would like to see a hitbox viewer added into it, because it is extremely helpful to understand how a move actually works, that we can see how to use it and how to deal with it. And second thing, an actual frame data with clear numbers, because at the moment it just got a few simple indicator just to show even, slightly minus, slightly plus, more than +4, and more than -4. I mean, it's still useful, but it would be just a lot better if I can see the number clearly, cause from the time that developer decide to put this kind of frame data in, that indicates to me they don't mind to show the details. So I don't see why not give me the full data with the precise detail and save all the guessing work and testing work. I'm sure any hardcore player will be really appreciate it. I understand this doesn't have to be the default option, but it would be really nice for us to able to have the option to able to toggle it on. So I hope the developer can seriously consider this. Other than that, there's some updated feature for KOF 15 that letting you set first to 1 to 10, which is a really nice option to have. And having a score display during the set really helps too. I know it's a simple thing, but it's really nice to have. Okay, now that I talk about the features that I like in the game, it's time to talk about the gameplay. And if you have been following my channel or follow my Twitter account, I think you guys already know what I wanted to say. But before I get to that, I need to show you two things first. First is the Shanghai racial list from before the first balance update. Second is the current racial tier list from Shanghai as well. If we look at both of the lists, besides Vanessa on the early patch, there is two things that they share in common. First is ground normal with massive range. Second, they all have a save on block special move that can be comboed from a ground normal move that have a decent reach. And depending on the meter situation, they can turn something safe into a massive damage if they get hits. And even if it got blocked, there isn't much consequence. Due to that, a lot of players is going to swing the hand or kick the legs. Just like this one scene in a famous cartoon show.
If you get hit, it's your own fault. Okay, then I'm gonna start kicking air like this. And if any part of you should feel that air, it's your own fault.
What do you think? I think that's quite a good representation, right? And because the risk of moving forward is quite high, during an intense match, both players might become really passive, just swinging their hands and legs into empty space and hope opponents gonna run into it. Just like the footage that you're seeing now, it is from SNK regional bouts from Asia. I don't think anyone can doubt the player's skill level there, and this is showing this is the dominant play style. So now, let's take a step back and think about why is it so strong and so dominant the current meta at the moment. Cause in many fighting games, just having a good normals or some special move that are safe on block, it's not gonna make them instant top tier. There are two major factors that allows character with these moves become so strong and dominant. And yep, you guessed it right, I'm gonna talk about this. Running become riskier due to the unblockable time at the initial run animation for the first 13 frames. Definitely is the major reason for this kind of playstyle become the major meta. And on top of that, by allowing player to able to do normal throw after getting hit out of air reset or hard knockdown, make all the character doesn't have enough reach, have to take a step back even after they're winning a situation. In nature to that, character who can safely poke in a far distance without consequence, they're just gonna be way better. As a result, combining all the factors, defensive play in KOF 15 are just really strong at the moment, which is exactly what I said 1 year ago. And here is the clip of what I said. And a bow player is going to keep a distance and fish for a counter attack. Especially in a tense situation, chances for any player to commit anything is very unlikely, which as a result, the game pace is going to become slower. And because of harder to closing the distance, characters who have longer range normals or projectile have good recoveries are going to have an advantage over characters that only have short range moves more than ever before, because there is no safe way to close the distance, which will be really stressful for a character who doesn't have a safe gap closing move. And therefore, with all the reasons above, characters who can zone and able to keep out well, once they get a lead on health, they can sit and wait for you to come forth and open themselves to counter attack, which the players who are leading will snowball the situation more. And with all the other system changes as well, like being able to do a normal throw after air reset or hard knockdown, makes defensive play really strong. Cause even if you get a right read and get a knockdown or an air reset, you still can't fully commit to offense. Even if opponent character doesn't equip with an reversal move, they're still able to mash out a throw. On top of rolling and backdash as well, makes it quite hard to cover everything. Makes the chaser side have to commit more risk to enable to catch the person who's running away. Okay, so that was what I said 1 year ago. And if the game stays as how it is now, even if they nerf all the current top tier, the meta is still going to be the same. And who's going to be the next top tier? It's just going to be any character that will have the best tool to fit in this playstyle. Therefore, I strongly believe having dash block again and keeping reversal throw to soft knockdown only would be much healthier for the game, because it will allow more different playstyle and character to become viable, which makes the game more fun to play for player and more entertaining to watch for the audience. And I really hope to see these two things can be changed in Season 2. And if you want to know more detail about how it will affect the game, I would strongly recommend you to watch these two videos where I go more in depth about the pros and cons. And one other thing about the gameplay, while playing online, after you're landing a climax move, they often have a lag spike. With some of the climax moves allow you to apply some mix-up after, it is impossible to react to anything. If there is official online tournament as well, I'll be super upset when I lose in this situation. And I won't feel satisfied if I win as well. So I do hope the developer can look into this, because I'm sure that this is not intentional and there is a way to stop this happening. And besides what I just mentioned, there's a few other things about the gameplay that I would like to see some changes. For example, little girls crouching hurtbox, and moves that have omega low profile, etc, etc. But these are quite minor compared to no dash block and reversal throw anytime that you want. So I'm gonna close one of my eye and let it sleep for now. Beside the gameplay stuff, another thing that I have to use all the time is online lobby. And the KOF 15 lobby is a massive step back from KOF 14. As if I want to just join a lobby, you will get these room lists that you can only see the host name, some of the battle setting, and that is it. But there is no information about the ping or connection strength on the screen until you go inside to the room. Then you can see the host, and turns out they might be living other side of the world. And if people were able to change their lobby name to at least say what region they're from, then I would know what lobby is worth to join and what lobby that I don't need to bother. So it would be nice to change the UI a bit and add more information to it to make it a bit more easier for us to use. Also, when you're in a lobby and there is only one single battle station, which is rather limited, quite often when you join a lobby more than 2 persons, usually they are in the middle of a set. There is no indication of what is the progress of the battle, so you really don't know how long you're gonna wait, and end up I'll just leave. Another situation is, when I finish playing with someone after a set, and back to the lobby, then I notice another player is there, and I wanted to change the battle setting, maybe because a set is too long, and I really can't. Because at the moment, once you open the lobby, if you want to change the setting, you have to disband the lobby and open another one. You can't change the setting at all, which is really frustrating. Because even just a set of first to 5, if it is down to wire, it could be 45 minutes. Come on, let's be real here. There is no way anyone is gonna wait for that long before they can press any buttons. And there's another problem from here. I want to be polite and nice to people and say, like, I will disband the room and join again. I'll make another one. And I can't use the chat box because there's only preset message. Can't freely type. And the preset message doesn't deal with every situation. Let's say if I want to legitimately ask some question about gameplay to the other players, there's no way I can do it. And you may say, PSN have it, you can just private message them, but what about PC? Unless they accept you as a friend, you can't even message people. And what about in the future? When we finally have crossplay, how do you expect a PS player communicate with PC player? And you know what? There is another problem here as well. Cause currently, you have to manually press a button and change the member list into the chat box. Otherwise, the other player is not gonna able to see it. Even if there's a notification that appear on upper right on the screen, but there is no sound effect to let me know that there is unread message. And because of how it is at the moment, the pre-chat message will rarely used. So by the time that you eventually notice it, it might become a big pile of preset messages. And therefore, I really hope that the developer can change the UI design and make sure the chat box is always on the screen. And let me type freely so that I can communicate with other people. And talking about UI design, it really lack of information at the moment. The problem become more obvious if you're a PC player. Cause at the moment, you can't change the profile picture. Everyone look exactly the same. There is so much empty space. Why don't display the player name underneath the profile picture? Like, who's next? I don't know. Am I next? I don't know. Oh, it was my turn, but I didn't press the button and kicked me to the back of the queue. Like, fam, allow me please. And as a player that who used to rinse KOF 14, this is just shocking. Like, what happened? It almost have everything that I need. Like, I can change the lobby names, I can freely type in the chat box without need to rely on preset messages. There is multiple battle stations, and I can change the battle setting anytime I want without needing to disband the lobby. And on top of that, it has a lot of profile picture to choose that I can roughly recognize it. Who is this player? Also, when I'm searching for the rooms, at least there's a signal strength indicator so I know what lobby might be worth to have a look. The only one thing that is really lack of, that KOF 15 doesn't have as well, is to have an option to wait in the training mode while you're waiting for your turn. Because if I lost a set, I would like to find the answer of why I lost immediately. And another thing that would be nice to have is a Wi-Fi indicator, that if I'm going to accept the match, at least I can mentally prepare and I don't have to get too salty about it. So please, SNK developers, you care enough to put rollback netcode in? Can we have an improved lobby interface please, that have multiple stations and an obvious chat box that I can freely type, that I can chat to other players while I'm waiting for my match, and able to talk to the other players about the gameplay stuff? Or vice versa, that some players are asking for me for advice and I can answer them. So yep, I would like to see some improvement in the next season about this. And I think that's about it for this season review. To be honest, there is definitely more that I can talk about, but since most of them are not really game changing, it's more like an improvement, something like maybe story mode that make it a bit more interesting to play, or tutorial, match replay features, etc, etc. But I think those topics might deserve another video, so I'll leave it as it is and call it a day. And let me do a quick recap about the things that I like and I don't like before I finish the video. So for the things that I like, there is DJ station, high contrast setting, draft versus, updated training mode with new features, able to set first to 1 to 10, and able to see the score during the sets. And for the things that I don't like, there is certain core mechanics like can't dash block and reversal throw after air reset and hard knockdown, which is the major two things that I dislike, and having lag spike after climax during online versus, and the lobby interface as well. That would be really nice to get some improvement on there. So I hope in Season 2 I'll see some improvements on the area that I talked about and change the areas that I don't agree on. And by the way, just a disclaimer here, as much as I like to have dash block in 15, I'm not saying it as a must, cause there are multiple ways to fix the one method dominant or situation. Like for example, increase the walking speed by a lot. You can stand block from the first frame after run but can't crouch block, or lower the unblockable period after running from the first 13 frame to 3 to 5 frame, etc, etc. But I believe being able to dash block from the first frame is the quickest and most simple way to fix without needing to adjust the program too much. And I think it can act as a failsafe, cause if there's any character in the future are really strong, that still can give a way for anyone to close the gap and don't have to worry about, oh, I forgot to fix this one move, then it just breaks the game and make that character complete OP. Therefore, I highly suggest SNK to choose this method. But for the other one, about the reversal normal throw after air reset or hard knockdown, that needs to be out. And as far as I can see, most of the players pretty much agree on this. But anyway, even though there is stuff that I'm being negative about, to be honest, as a brand new game, KOF 15 got a lot of stuff right. Overall, it is still a good product. For sure, there are flaws, but there are things that I enjoy too. Otherwise I wouldn't still play it, right? So yep, I'm looking forward to the Season 2 and see what will be changed and what new characters will be joining KOF 15. And let me say it once in here, thank you SNK for making KOF 15. Even there's things that I like and dislike about it, it still let me meet the people that I haven't seen before and has some good memory with it. So 15を作ってくれて心から感謝します。And for anyone that who is still watching, even I didn't expect this video would be this long. But if you're still watching, once again, thank you for watching, and I hope this year will be more peaceful so that we can all travel again and able to press more buttons offline. Hope you guys have fun in Season 2 and have a great year. See ya!